Today on the WIU Football Coaches Show, that's right, Western Illinois football is back. The Leathernecks ranked 25th in the nation, and they tried to show the Tennessee Tech Golden Eagles that they were worth every bit of that preseason ranking on the road in Cookeville, Tennessee to kick off the 2017 campaign. Also coming up on the show, we'll break down the Leathernecks switch to a 3-4 defense and have Colin Saunders step in the hot seat for the 2-minute drill. Some rapid-fire questions coming his way. You don't want to miss that and a whole lot more on the WIU Football Coaches Show. Welcome to the 2017 season premiere of the WIU Football Coaches Show. I'm Danny Fry alongside the head coach of Leatherneck football in his second season, Charlie Fisher. Western kicked off the 2017 campaign with a convincing 41-14 road victory over the Tennessee Tech Golden Eagles. Coach, and that wasn't even the best effort from your team, still working out those kinks in week one.
Yeah, typical game one. You know, we were a little sloppy at times. We were really good in spurts, but we can play so much better. And they always say in the coaching, you know, that teams improve the most from week one to week two. And that really has been the case in my time as a coach in 37 years. But we got things we got to correct, we got to work on. But it was a great start.
Entering the season ranked 25th, and what was the mindset heading into this year after last year disappointing finish just on the outside looking at the playoffs at 6-5 overall?
Yeah, you just touched on it. Finish the fight, find a way to get it done, and you know, the big old hoorah, you know, and that's what we got to do. We just got to finish better and be more determined in critical situations.
Now, maybe didn't lose a whole lot from last year, but just the magnitude of the players who left. I mean, really some great senior leaders left, including Lance Lenore, who just made the practice squad for the Dallas Cowboys.
No question. We lost some outstanding seniors, guys that really came here and helped turn this program around and just change the mindset of the program. Obviously, Lance, Joey Borsellino, go right down the line of some tremendous players that we lost. And, of course, Lance is doing a great job with the Cowboys. But that's college football, Danny. You know, your roster changes. You don't keep guys for 15 years. You know, the roster changes, and that's the beauty of it. New guys got to step up.
And how do you plan to go in and fill in some of those spots? I mean, we'll see the highlights coming up here in game one. And there's guys, I mean, they got that flair and that pop that the other guys did. Yeah,
you just, you know, obviously you go in your practice and the guys that step up, but then there's a difference from practice to game time and when the lights are on. And some guys are even brighter when the lights shine the brightest, so to speak. So, and we saw a little bit of that. You know, season's a long journey. We'll see guys continue to develop into roles that maybe they haven't had in this first game, but those roles are coming, and it kind of works its way out.
Another season of Leatherneck football. Let's check out the first half highlights. And Coach, what does it mean to play like a Leatherneck?
Oh, that's easy. Heart, soul, passion, grit, determination, and a whole lot of fight.
And thought for a second with the uniforms that you're playing the LSU Tigers there of the Tennessee Tech Golden Eagles, but players, I mean, just excited to hit another jersey at this point?
Absolutely. We're in our purple and white. It's a beautiful uniform. And got that Western Illinois on the front. We want to represent our school.
Sean McGuire dumps it off to Steve McShane in the first quarter. McShane goes for 23 yards. A nice juke move to the Tennessee Tech 26. Good awareness to get rid of it there by Sean.
Absolutely. We had to shovel pass there and did a really nice job.
And Sean, great job recovering. That was a bad snap. Right. He's able to line up for Sam Croce to the Bowling Green transfer. Great Leatherneck debut. Hits a 41-yarder towards the end of the first quarter. He's pumped. Leathernecks lead it 3-0. And then the next Tennessee Tech drive, second and 11. Quentin Moon drills Alex Carling on the screen for a loss of 4. He had a great beat on that play.
Yeah, Quentin Moon, boy, what a game. He was absolutely all over the field, and we've talked about Quentin. What a player he is.
Still 3-0 Western in the second quarter. Colin Saunders breaks through, and he throws Andre Sale down to the turf, and that was just starting the great night that Colin would have, and he would rumble in from a yard out with 4:07 left in the second quarter for the first WIU touchdown of 2017. He was a running back in high school there, Coach.
Yeah, he's nimble-footed, he's big, he's strong, and you know, why not use him? You know, he can run the ball, and he wasn't going to be denied right there.
You have a nickname for him, possibly like the Fridge back to the 85
Fridge,
Bears?
That's a good way. I call him the Big K.
Big K. Well, the Big K punched through there, but then Tennessee Tech, one of their best plays all night was a fake punt. It moved the chains late in the first half, but ultimately be a missed field goal by Madonia. He shanks it off to the right, and always nice when you're pitching a shutout heading to half.
No question, and that was a huge play from a momentum standpoint. Madonia's an outstanding kicker. Our guy, you know, new guy makes his 41. They miss it. Created a lot of momentum for us.
And as we bring it back here, first half, I mean, you talked about it after the game. I mean, it was a little bit of sloppy play by both teams, but of course you expect that, and we talked about it the first game.
Yeah, sometimes it happens in spurts. Sometimes, you get hot, and I think what you saw in the third quarter was our team started to relax a little bit, particularly we got in a nice rhythm offensively, and we just changed the dynamic of the game.
Is that a Tennessee Tech throw anything kind of a little bit different at you guys there? I mean, the team seemed really calm and collected on defense.
Yeah, not really, no. They really didn't. We had a pretty good beat because they were back with their same people, their coordinators, offense, defense. So we had a pretty good feel for what we were going to go against.
And now we will bring back an old segment, the 2-minute drill, where you get to know the players underneath the helmet a little bit more. And the subject of the first 2-minute drill is none other than the big boy himself, Colin Saunders. How much did you enjoy being a running back in high school?
Oh man, in high school it was a lot of fun. I was actually the biggest person on my team, including the linemen. So I mean, it was kind of unusual, but it was a lot of fun in high school, just getting able to carry the ball and catch the ball, all of that. So,
what did it feel like scoring a collegiate touchdown back on Thursday?
It brought back a lot of memories. I mean, it was only a 1-yard run, but it was a lot of fun. I mean, it was a lot of guys that they piled to hold everybody in the hole and was just waiting for me, so it was kind of fun to hit that.
Do you have a hidden talent?
I mean, I don't know if it's hidden anymore, but I can tumble and like do backflips and stuff like that. I've been doing that since I was like 7 years old, so I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody know it by now.
Heard you can play the piano. Is that true or false?
Oh yeah, I actually play the piano. I never took lessons. I learned by ear, but I've been playing the piano since 6th grade too.
You have a go-to song you play on the piano?
Probably anything John Legend. I like John Legend a lot, so probably Ordinary People. That's one of my favorite songs to play.
How many times do people get your first name wrong?
First and last, really. I mean, I probably got a whole nother alter ego by now. Kaylin Saunders.
And is there a certain type of dinner roll that follows you around on the road?
Oh man, I'm telling you, a coach picked these. I don't know if they're like ciabatta bread or something, but man, they got a nice consistency to them. You can really feel it when you eat it, and I like it. Stick to you.
What would you think you would play as a sport other than football?
Most definitely basketball. If I was a little bit taller, I'd probably be playing basketball because it's fun, but I'm short and stubby. So.
Well, one more question to get in. Did you think Coach was going to hold up his end of the bargain, get you in at running back?
Well, yeah, I actually I got promised that a lot of times with the last coaching staff, so I wasn't really looking into it. But then when he called the package on Thursday, I was ecstatic. So he held up his bargain, and I had to hold up mine and get in the end zone, which happened. So I was pretty happy about it.
All right, thanks, Colin. Appreciate you coming on.
All right, no problem.
When we come back, Coach Fisher and I will break down highlights from the second half of the Week 1 showdown at Tennessee Tech. Stick around.
For Lindsay Cutesy, one academic major at Western Illinois University wasn't enough.
My majors in Spanish, anthropology, and religious studies have given me incredible opportunities to study in Spain and in India.
Lindsay feels incredibly lucky to be a Leatherneck.
My goal is to work for a nonprofit that focuses on serving others. I am a success story. I am a Leatherneck.
Think purple, think success. Think Western Illinois University.
Founded in 1985, the Missouri Valley Football Conference has established a tradition of FCS football excellence. Competing at the highest level of NCAA Division I, student athletes at its 10 institutions demonstrate character, passion, and integrity as they grow as a student, an athlete, and a citizen. The Missouri Valley Football Conference, where leaders are shaped and champions are forged.
Carissa Kuchis loves Western Illinois University.
Western lets you be who you want to be. The opportunities are unlimited, and people here really care.
Carissa has definitely made the most of her time at Western.
Advertising executive, life coach, talk show host. I'll do it all because I'm a success story. I am a Leatherneck.
Think purple, think success. Think Western Illinois University.
Welcome back, everybody, to the WIU Football Coaches Show. Danny Fry alongside Leatherneck head football coach Charlie Fisher. Western Illinois led 10-0 at the half at Tennessee Tech, but Coach, where did you see the improvements were most needed?
Well, we need to come out with a lot of energy. We need to play better in the second half. I really used a comparison to Eastern Illinois a year ago. We were 24-3 at the half, and we didn't play a good third quarter. And I felt like, this is where as a team we need to show our development. We got a lot of veteran players. Let's go out. Let's try to step on them and put the pedal to the gas and get this thing over.
And let's see when the Leathernecks, they would do just that as we go to the second half highlights here on the WIU Football Coaches Show. Always important to stay loose. As you see Sean McGuire and Brett Taylor getting loose before half.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to be ready to go. And that's the thing. When you start that second half, I mean, there's no time wasted. You got to be ready to go.
First Leatherneck drive of the second half. Max Norris goes around the edge for 45 yards. He's got some speed when in the open field, and he was filling in for Steve McShane, who left in the first half due to an injury.
Yeah, next man up mentality. Max has been really good all spring and all summer.
And Sam Crosa, he's reliable, chips it in from 20 out, making it 13-0 Western Illinois. And you got to love his enthusiasm.
He just is a ball of energy. Love him. He's made a big difference in our football team.
McGuire will kick Acklin in motion, then Jalen Acklin on the jet sweep. It was effective all night here for a 21-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, Ack has had just a tremendous offseason. Led, again, same thing. I think our most improved player, totally changed his whole dynamic. And he's really played well for us, Danny.
Ensuing Golden Eagle drive, Quentin Moon not only with the sack, but it's a strip sack. He will force the fumble and recover it, putting the Leathernecks in prime position to strike again. And that's exactly what they would do as Quentin runs over to celebrate with his teammates running over to the sideline. How about the Cookeville native, Victavius Johnson? He scores 16-yard TD run right up the middle, 27-0 Leathernecks, 3:57 left in the third. Quite a get for you guys right in Tennessee Tech's backyard.
Yeah, Tennessee Tech decided to let him go. He was committed to him, and coaching staff change brought Vic our way, and certainly glad to have him.
Throwing off the back foot, here's an interception. A nice play for Tyron Holloway in the right spot, Coach.
Yeah, Tyron's a transfer from Liberty. He had an outstanding career there. He's a grad student transfer. Really been a big help to our football team.
And you like getting those grad student transfers.
I do. They're experienced. They've been around, and we've had a number of them over here the last 2 years, and been a big part of our team.
And how about Mike Vitti? He's a sophomore, his first collegiate touchdown, the former Maryland commit with the pick six, and just a great read there, almost like that play was thrown right to him.
Yeah, really tremendous play on Mike's part, and he's one of my Pennsylvania guys, my home state, and just an awesome kid, and it was great to see him make a play like that.
Made a great read, and the Golden Eagles were down 34-0 to Western after 3 quarters, but they would not be shut out. Sale finally found pay dirt to Dari Stafford, a 61-yard bomb down the sideline to begin the fourth quarter, but that was, too little too late there for Tennessee Tech.
Right, they hit us on a double move right there, Danny, and Mike got his eyes in the wrong spot, but this was a great answer on our offense's part.
Again, right, answered right back, 17-yard strike, McGuire to Acklin. Sean is so good when he rolls out.
Yeah, we try to move the pocket. We don't want to ever stay stationary. We'll be in the pocket and move it, and just a play that's a staple play for us, that rollout play. And he did a good job reading the high-low and finding Acklin in the corner of the end zone.
Has to feel good to get that commanding Week 1 win, Coach. Start off 1-0.
No, absolutely. They're a whole lot better than them close ones. We had enough of those a year ago, but really excited the way our guys finished the second half.
That's right, and avoided the rain till right there at the end as we go to the final score. 41-14, Western over Tennessee Tech. McGuire, 10 of 20, 130 yards and a touchdown. How about Max Norris coming in, 19 rushes, 133 yards in Steve McShane's place. Quentin Moon and Brett Taylor both had 10 tackles. And for Tennessee Tech, Andre Sale was stifled all night. But they did have Norman on defense with 18 tackles. He was busy for Tennessee Tech in the 41-14 Western Illinois win. So let's touch on Steve McShane there a little bit.
Right.
The whole second half, he was on crutches. And with Steve, obviously it's the next man up.
Right.
How's the depth chart looking? How's Steve looking?
Well, Steve's going to be a week-to-week process. He's got an ankle sprain, so we'll see, every day, we'll see where he's at. Next man up mentality, as we talked about earlier, Max, we knew Max was going to play anyhow. He had earned that opportunity and been really good. And you can't ever go into a game with just one running back. And then Victavius stepped up, Devin Sanders, Clint Rakovich. We've got depth at running back, Danny, so we feel really good about where we are. Obviously, Steve's a dynamic playmaker. We need him back. But injuries happen in football, and you got to step up, and the next guys have got to make the plays.
And we talk about kicking. I mean, Sam Crosa, very impressive in his Leatherneck debut there, and replacing a guy Nate Knuffman, who's been there for 4 years.
Right. You know, we had an ongoing battle for this since the spring, and Nathan Erickson kicked the ball very, very well, and he's actually our long field goal guy. But Sam Crosa just, really won the job with his consistency. He's got an infectious attitude, and, he's going out and he's kicked the ball. He's been very accurate.
And did you see the team kind of perform how you expected their first? I mean, having to go on the road. I mean,
Right.
Gonna have to be road warriors at the beginning of this season, and why not start off with a 9-hour bus ride to Tennessee Tech?
Yeah, we've got to be good on the road. We've got some tough road games, and this just helps us get ready for, some of the teams we're going to play down the road. But yes, very good start. I thought our defense played very well. Offense, once we got in rhythm, played much, much better. We got a lot of work ahead of us, but that's part of football. That's part of coaching. That's why we do it. And we got a veteran team. I don't expect us to get better.
More on the way next with the WIU Football Coaches Show. Don't go anywhere.
It's time to take the next step. All right, there's been good things done here. A foundation has been laid, but it's time to make the next step and take the next chapter of Leatherneck football to championship football and winning games at a high rate and doing things the right way.
Welcome back. I'm Danny Fry, host of the WIU Football Coaches Show, alongside head coach Charlie Fisher. The Leathernecks have a revamped defense, switching from a 4-3 to the 3-4. No better to implement this defense than veteran defensive mind Tony Grantham as the new defensive coordinator. It's a big change, but ultimately there's just a few new concept changes to wrap your head around.
This year I feel good. Got a new defensive coordinator. Coach Grantham's got us in the right spot, got us in great defense. A little confusing at first, but the longer we get into it, the better it's coming along.
He's aggressive, likes to cause havoc, likes to get after the other team, and we'll bring the fight to them, and it'll be super exciting to watch.
We've got 10 returning guys, so they know how to play the game. We're going about it with a little bit different approach than what they had done the previous season, and they've bought into what we're teaching right now.
Grantham has coached a 3-4 previously at Navy and Louisville, and when asked to explain the new defense, he said there are a few differences, but it's still just football.
We're going to bring a fourth rusher. It's going to come from the linebacking core. We could bring a fifth rusher. We could bring a sixth rusher. We want to make the offense make decisions post-snap and not pre-snap, and try to make the quarterback speed up his thought process.
One of the WIU team captains, Brett Taylor, was excited to adjust the new scheme because he feels like it can help the Leathernecks achieve their goals.
So we want to be the best in the country, We're setting the standard high, and we want to be the best, And if we can make a shutout, if the other team doesn't score, we can't lose. So the goal is to be the best.
But he approaches every day. It's like a kid going to school for the first time. He's learning a new defense and a new way of how we're teaching it. And he's done a great job with it, and we're really pleased with him right now.
Now that the defense has a game under its belt with the new scheme, Diggs is looking forward to playing in his home state of Arizona again.
It's been circled for a while now, so got a lot of family flying in. Can't mess up in front of them, I won't hear the end of that.
Coach, this was a defense, the 3-4, that you wanted to do for some time, right?
I did. I felt like, when Coach Elson left and went to Ball State, I had an opportunity to just step back and think about where we wanted to go in the future. I've always been a fan of the 3-4, having been an offensive coach, an offensive coordinator going against teams that ran the 3-4. You don't see that many people in college football do it. It's probably more of a pro defense. Tony's got great experience in it. I just felt like it would give us a little different dynamic as a defensive team.
When you talk about it's a pro defense, you're running a pro style offense
Right.
too. Has that just always kind of been a staple that you could go with that pro style?
Yeah, that's always kind of been me. I've always been a huge fan of the way the NFL plays football. I believe in running the football, heavy play action, shot plays down the field, and then the opportunity to implement the 3-4, just trying to change our dynamic a little bit, create more pressure, more havoc, more chaos on the offense. You saw that Saturday against Tennessee Tech. So, we're definitely heading in the right direction. We got a lot of work ahead of us on both sides of the ball, but it was a great start, and I like where our defense is headed.
How well does this defense fit your personnel? Because there's a lot of athletes there for the Leatherneck defense.
Well, in the 3-4, you play with 4 linebackers, and we're deep at linebacker. We've got talented players there, so I thought, well, that's a great starting point. And now if you can create that big, awesome nose guard, and Colin is not a nose guard, he can do it, but Mick Nelson is very stout in there and does a really good job. And just limits, you only have to have 3 defensive linemen. You can recruit more 4 linebacker type guys that play inside and outside.
Why do you think Tennessee Tech had some problems with there? Maybe not used to it kind of there in the first game?
I think part of it was, obviously they knew Coach Grantham was on board. They knew his background at Navy and at Louisville, but still, when you haven't seen our defense play, you go into a game with a little bit of uncertainty. And then our defense is hard. We got very, very talented players over there. And then just the new look. You're really never sure in that first game what you're going to see. And it was a little bit different for them, and we were able to create quite a bit of chaos.
One final break we'll take. When we come back, Coach and I will preview the Leathernecks road trip coming up to Northern Arizona.
She wins the game! She wins the game! The Leathernecks win!
Garrett Covington chose Western Illinois University because of the law enforcement program and the chance to be a Leatherneck.
Western has one of the best law enforcement programs in the nation, and I get to play the game I love. Whether I go pro or I go to law school, because of Western, I would take my success to another level. I am a success story. I am a Leatherneck.
Think purple, think success. Think Western Illinois University.
Western Illinois University allows you to think for yourself and to discover the freedom to become your own.
Own it at Western. Build your own expectations and fill your own shoes.
Explore an academic culture that adapts to you.
Create yourself and inspire originality in an open and safe environment.
Western Illinois University lets you make your own success story.
Think purple.
Think success.
Think Western Illinois University.
Welcome back to the WIU Football Coaches Show. It's time to check in on how the Missouri Valley teams performed in the opening week of college football. And there were some good ones. Missouri State putting up 43 points, but ultimately Mizzou wins it, putting up 72 points. So did North Dakota State in a rout of Mississippi Valley State. South Dakota all over Drake. Illinois State shutting out Butler. Take a look at the other scores. Northern Iowa's win streak over Iowa State is over. And no surprise there at all. Youngstown State giving Pitt a game. And right at the very end, Eastern edges Indiana State. And now the games on tap for week 2 in the Missouri Valley Football Conference. Robert Morris visiting Youngstown State, and then Tennessee, fresh off the thriller last night in Monday night in double overtime. Tennessee will take on Indiana State, and some other great games coming up as well, some FBS opponents for the Missouri Valley teams. So, Coach, next up for the Leathernecks, though you didn't see there on that graphics, we'll talk about it now. A trip to sunny Flagstaff, Arizona to battle the Northern Arizona Lumberjacks. NAU 0-1 after losing to the FBS Arizona Wildcats on Saturday 62-24. But as always, they showed that they got some offensive weapons.
Tremendous offensive football team, Danny. New coordinator, came from Indiana State, but we've got the same pieces to the puzzle back. You start with Case Cookus, legitimate pro prospect, no question about it. You go outside with Emmanuel Butler, Elijah Marks. They got 2 outstanding receivers. I think where they've really helped themselves is at the running back position. They've added Corey Young, Boise State transfer. The Logan kid is back. He emerged for them in the last half of the year. So they got weapons. upon weapons on offense.
You mentioned Case Cookus. What's the plan for him, especially with the new defensive look now?
You know, with Case, I mean, you got to change up the looks on any really good quarterback. He's obviously very talented. He can see coverage. You can't just sit there and let him see it. You got to disguise it. You got to give him different looks. You got to come get him some. You got picture spots there. I think any quarterback, the more they get hit, the less effective they become. So you got to get around him. You got to make him a little bit nervous. But make no mistake, we're dealing with a high-level talent here. He's playing at home. That's a big advantage for them that they think in the elevation. So, but it's just part of it. We got to handle it and go play in it.
The Leathernecks won the meeting last year at home in Macomb. What stood out from that game?
Well, we were able to get control of the game in the second half. I mean, we were down early. They hit us on a couple trick plays, and they had the batted ball, and some things went wrong. I thought our team withstood the adversity. Came back in the second half. We started to run the ball. We hit Lance on some big plays, and defensively, we were able to take control of the game a little bit more and keep Cookus under control.
And you mentioned finish the fight. Obviously, that's going to be another thing that's preached for this game.
No doubt. Well, it's round 2. It's a heavyweight fight. It's 11 rounds. This is round 2. And we came out, we got, we started strong, got some early punches in, and now, we've got to respond at third place. Tough environment. The Lumberjacks have typically been tough there in the walk-up dome.
And they got that elevation there, Coach,
yeah.
Second highest.
Our feeling going into it is attitude and the altitude. We got to have the right attitude, the right mindset, go in there and be ready to take this thing and play a really good Northern Arizona team.
All right, so the Leathernecks will take on Northern Arizona. Kickoff from the J. Lawrence Walk-Up Skydome, set for 4 p.m. on Saturday afternoon. For Western Illinois head football coach Charlie Fisher, I'm Danny Fry. Thank you so much for watching.